He walked the building before with Rashim. He should have looked through the building. If he claimed he knows restaurants and layouts and design.
But you don't know what caused the ceiling to fall in the first place.
He mentioned something to me that he had them cut out something from the bar area. I don't recall.
And was it because it was defective?
I don't know. Again, he was the one that was on site all the time.
Did he ever hold himself out as some sort of structural engineer who has an expertise in ceilings?
Actually, he had mentioned something of being something of an architect. That's what he had designed. When he presented us with the performa, he also gave us designs that he had personally drafted.
Okay, and then there should have been a cooler room, and he realized it after the fact that you had a complaint. There was a change order regarding an addition of a cooler room.
I didn't know about the changeover until I walked into the premises.
Mm-hmm. But that is the third item that caused you to outlay more cash.
There's quite a few, but I can't recall what them right now.
You can remember those three, and then maybe
yes.
There'll be the electrical issue, the ceiling issue, and the cooler room issue, right?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any reason, and you testified that Eric told you there would be like a two-week to 30-day process from start to finish in terms of Bowden's finish up, right?
Yes.
And then ultimately it took longer than that, correct?
Yes.
And why did it take longer? Because of these issues we just talked about, among others?
Yes.
You talked about the fact that that emails were being sent to you with respect to Bowden, and you weren't receiving them in real time, right? Because you're distracted with your other duties at the pediatric practice and whatnot, right?
I was not aware that I was getting emails. I was expecting a phone call.
When did you realize that you were receiving emails?
When I walked into the premises and discovered that there was no cooler room. They have these large pieces of equipment that were trying to pry up to the door.
Okay, well, when was that?
I believe it was sometime in January. I don't recall.
How often did you, while this construction was going on, how often did you visit the premises to check in on things?
Not very often. Eric had assured me that he had everything under control.
Did you say once a week or less than that?
Less than that.
Maybe once every 2 weeks?
Yes. In the beginning, I was there often, but Eric had asked me that he had everything under control and that he would call me if he needed me.
Okay. Now, when you, do you use just one email address? Or back during this time period, were you using one email address or multiple email addresses?
I have my personal in the clinic and my husband's.
Okay. Where was Eric emailing you? These emails that you said you're contending you didn't realize were there until much later.
At this time, I don't recall.
Once you discovered that these emails had been sent to you, did you start checking your email account more regularly?
I did, but I requested I get a phone call instead. because in the line of work that I do with pediatrics, I don't have time to check an email. If I'm on call for the clinic, the phone was the best way to get hold of me.
Okay, it's your contention that January, and sometime in January was the first time you found out that you'd been receiving emails about concerning Bawden and the construction project?
No.
Okay, when did you're saying no, you found out earlier or found out later?
Thinking, well, that I actually checked, I don't recall. December, January.
Okay, you're contending there was a delay of a number of days between the day that it would have arrived in your email box and the day you read it.
Well, again, like I said, emails were not a good way to contact me.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the phone call just because of what I do.
Okay. Well, it is your contention that you did not check your email regularly, and that's why you weren't aware of it, isn't that right?
Correct.
Okay.
But again, that's why I requested phone calls.
You didn't become aware of the emails and just ignored them, in other words.
I get a lot of emails, junk mail. I was not a fan of computer emails. Again, my line of work, I don't have the time to, being a mom, I don't have time to sit behind the desk and check my emails.
Okay. So it was not a common practice for you to communicate by email with Eric Abrams at any time?
I wouldn't say it wasn't a common practice.
So you admit that there were times when you did communicate back and forth with him?
Yes.
By email? Okay, I've heard in our preliminary hearings in this matter, I've heard some numbers bandied about how much you're claiming in damages. Have you arrived at a figure as to how much you're claiming the breach of contract by Eric Abrams cost you?
It's cost me quite a bit of money.
Okay, how much?
I'd say it's somewhere in the roundabouts of exceeding our performer.
And which was how much?
On the performer,
Mm-hmm.
we had agreed $225,000.
Okay, how much more than $225,000 does this cost you?
Over $300,000.
Okay, exactly how did Eric Abrams cost you this $300,000?
He misrepresented the product he sold me.
Any other reasons that Eric Abrams cost you this $300,000?
I'm sorry.
Besides the misrepresentations, is there anything else you blame that you're contending caused you to lose the $300,000 that was committed by Eric Abrams?
The contracts he signed into without my knowledge.
Okay, anything else?
Nothing I can think of at this time.
Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, but let's start with the contracts for the wine.
Mhm.
You admit that the restaurant needed to buy wine, right?
Yes.
Then how did Eric's purchase of the wine cause you to lose all this money?
How the purchase of the wine cost me to lose all this money.
Right.
He
Show me
was-
the
he
cause
was
and effect.
On the wine
On the
alone.
wine. Well, yeah, tell me how the wine contributed to you losing all this money.
Okay. The purchasing of the wine, can I Okay, we had quite a few wine reps. And I'm seeing here just Republic, but he had quite a few he was going through, that he was using. I didn't find out till after I noticed discrepancies with the performa that he promised with the duo and these agreements that he made. But Republic alone, I wouldn't say that. I was noted when I looked at the UCC, yes, he was signing agreements without my knowledge, not just with Republic. He had multiple wine companies.
Okay. But you agree with me, these were outlays of cash that you're gonna have to make regardless, just to go into business and sell wine, correct?
Okay, outlays of cash.
You'll agree with me that you were planning on selling, all along, you were planning on selling beer and wine to us?
Yes.
Okay. Then how is the buying of beer and wine by Eric Abrams costing Tangeray and or you all this money that you're claiming, this $300,000?
The wine alone wasn't the cause of the $300,000. There were many causes.
Okay. Is this a cause? Was the buying of the wine a cause of your damages?
Signing these agreements, yes. Signing UCC forms were, like, my understanding of a UCC is if you sign something off and then you can't pay it at the end of the month or the middle of the month, yes, you're costing money for a product that's not selling, yes.
Okay. Are you claiming that he purchased too much alcohol?
I'm claiming that he purchased quite a bit of alcohol, yes, for what the sales of the restaurant were.
Okay. Do you have any idea of how much, of what an acceptable amount of alcohol would have been?
Well, how much alcohol?
What would have been, do you know what an acceptable amount, or do you have an idea of what, in your opinion, would be an acceptable amount of wine to buy from the public?
He wasn't just buying from the public. He was buying from various vendors.
Okay.
So one wine company alone can't cost you that much, but he was buying from multiple companies.
Okay.
And being that we were on a tight budget, because we had already missed the performa, what he had promised, what our starting was versus the whole budget was off.
Okay.
So you can't gain it from transferring it somewhere else.
Let's take a few-minute break, and then we'll probably wrap up.